Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. For today's lesson, I wanted to introduce you guys to some of the theoretical information, as I know that some of you are still getting your equipment, so I thought I'd take this chance or this opportunity to teach you guys a little bit more about the theoretical information that will be crucial for you to learn the Ruk'aa script. Again, I would like to remind you to always practice with the angle. Remember always to draw your square. And again, when you're writing, you don't need to draw this every time. At some point it'll become second habit and you'll kind of feel where the angle is, right? But for the time being, you need to write so you understand that this is the angulation that you need to write on for you to perfect the script. The second idea that I wanted to talk about is the bent right triangle. In the course that I took on Ruk'aa, this helped me a lot to understand some of the angulation on the letters. Because all the letters are on a slant or an angle to the left. And so the question is now, how does the bent right triangle idea help? So let me draw a bent right triangle for you guys and explain that a little better. So imagine right now you have this bent right triangle, okay? You notice that the baseline that the tip is pointing on is above the line. So it is a right triangle, but it is above the line. And you notice as well that the leg right here is slanted. And that this leg as well is also slanted. Doesn't start flat and end flat. It starts above the line and ends on the line. In Ruk'aa, when you're writing words and writing letters, a lot of times the beginning begins above the line and the end ends on the line. And the same thing goes for the vertical letters. The alif, for instance, starts at a point over here and then ends somewhere over here. So there is a slantation towards the left, as with this right triangle. So keeping this idea of the right triangle in your head will help you understand some of the letters, such as Harf al-alif. Now, I want to show you guys Harf al-alif so that you have a better understanding of what I mean by that. That is Harf al-alif. Now, let's break this down and see how it relates to this right triangle. First, we need to make sure that it is on the right angle. And you notice that this right here is, if you imagine the square, is actually on the right angle. Okay? And it shouldn't change by the end of it, so this should also be pointing in the right direction. Okay, we have that checked off. Step 2 is looking at this bend, right? This is not straight down. And let me show you guys that. And you'll see that there is a little gap. That gap is the gap that Harf al-alif presents. Let's do that one more time. Let's do Harf al-alif again so I show you guys that in a better image. You see there is this space down there. And so the other thing that I want to point out is that Harf al-alif, is sized 3 nuqtas in height. 1, 2, and 3. The nuqtas aren't perfect here, but that's fine. You see that it's 3 nuqtas high. Harf al-alif is a crucial letter to learn, because once you master this letter, you'll be able to master other letters. And the reason I say so is because, for instance, Harf al-kaf and Harf al-lam share this aspect of Harf al-alif. And so learning and mastering this will help you learn and master those. And so make sure to spend plenty of time and enough time on Harf al-alif and every single letter you learn, because there are plenty of commonality or common aspects between all the letters. So it's really important for you to master the letters one by one, so that when you move on to the next letter, you're not taking those mistakes with you. So again, for practice, I want you guys to use the tracing in the PDF that I've sent you and practice Harf al-alif. Additionally, when you start to practice on paper like this that I give you, I want you to, or blank sheet of paper, I want you to start, do Harf al-alif. Check the angulation, make sure that it's right. Check the sizing and make sure that that's right. Okay. Check to see if you are bent or slanted on the right inclination towards the left, and if you're not, or you're inclined towards the right, then there's something wrong and you want to fix that. And that is how you self-check in calligraphy, right? And that is how you practice. Over time, you'll start to write Harf al-alif or whatever letter that you learn, and you'll be consistent with it because you've practiced it enough times using tracing, you've practiced it enough times while sizing and putting the right angulation, that you no longer need to check all these things, and you'll have it. That is it for this lesson. I hope you benefited from it. And if you have any questions, please post them in the comment section and let me know. I know this can be a little overwhelming for people who have never been experienced in calligraphy. Just bear with me and keep working hard. And inshallah soon you'll be making your own pieces of work. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.